Hi friends, today on Bollywood Now we are with the national award-winning director Janki Vishwanathan, who has directed this film Ye Hai Bakrapur, which has won several awards at festivals. Now let's find out from her as to what this film is all about. So if you can just tell us about this movie, Janki, and how have you been inspired for making such a film?
Basically, this film is a socio-political satire. Set in a village somewhere in rural India. And in terms of inspiration, this is basically based on a real-life incident. And this is a newspaper story that I read about a year or two ago about a goat which kind of was a goat from Rajasthan, which journeyed to Delhi and how it was kept in, Juma Masjid, and people used to queue up to see it and things like that. So I found that a very interesting premise, and so the film kind of took shape from there on.
And talking about the characters in the movie, like this film, we can say that the hero of the movie is probably the content.
Yes, I think you're quite right in saying that is. It is an ensemble cast in the sense that there are multiple characters. So yes, I think the story is the driving force. The script is the driving force, and the central character, like you must have kind of guessed, the character around which the entire film pretty much revolves is the goat.
But we have always seen that a goat is probably considered to be a bakra. So people they don't want to become a bakra in real life. So why a bakra in this?
I think in the process we are somewhere trying to change the identity image. It's probably an image building exercise for the Bakra. And when you see the film, you'll understand that Bakra acquires a whole new meaning. Like you said, it's about how we become Bakras ourselves, we make Bakras out of others. So how a Bakra is made a Bakra, and how a Bakra makes Bakras out of others. So that's pretty much what the story is. And like I said, it's going to be an image changeover for the Bakra after this.
So that would be wonderful to see an image makeover for a bakra. But then why the name Shahrukh?
The name Shahrukh is, again, honestly, it's because of the fact that, this again is based on a trend that exists, in rural India. It's not something that, I have, let's say, I have created. Basically, while we were doing our research for the film, something very interesting that we found was this trend in rural India to name their household, their pets, their domestic pets after, Bollywood superstars. For example, you might have, around the time of Eid, in fact, only, last Eid, I remember, there was this entire newspaper report about how if you went to the Eid market, most of the goats there were either called Shahrukh or Salman or Amir, or there was in fact a goat called Saifina.
Okay.
So it's basically their love or their obsession or whatever you want to call it, their, love, admiration for Bollywood stars, that kind of is the reason why they name these, pets after them. And we basically all we're trying to do is reflect this trend. And so far as this specific goat is concerned, again, we shot the film in Bidar, and we were like traveling across the countryside for almost like we auditioned about 400 goats before we found the right one, because I had an image in mind, like, the kind of goat I wanted. And so we had to go through an entire process for about 3-4 days, and we found this guy only 2 days before the shoot began. And as luck would have it, when I saw him at the marketplace and we were negotiating with the owner, and then we discovered his name is Shahrukh. So he was about a year old. So for 1 year he had been used to the name Shahrukh. So obviously he was responding to that name. So then for us basically what happened was it became a way for the film also to reflect this trend. This film is about society, Indian society, it's about Indian politics. So this is a trend in Indian society which the film is again reflecting, and no other reason apart from that.
And I believe you had to audition 400 goats, and that too for 2 days, and probably this was in the last 10 minutes, as you said. So why such a maybe screening process for just a goat?
See, basically, the goat, like I said, is the central character in the film. So he becomes the most important character in the film. So obviously, when you audition human actors for a character. So similarly, I had a certain image in mind of what I wanted the goat to, what I wanted the goat to look like and all that. So I honestly, like I said, we went around the entire countryside. We must have seen at least 400, 500 goats, and none of them just, matched what I had in mind. And finally, like I said, 2 days before the shoot, we managed to find this guy.
So did you have a talk with Shahrukh Khan also about this character?
We have been in touch with his office. My producer is in touch with their office, and they are aware of the film. And we would like for him to see the film, not for any other reason, just two reasons. One, of course, that we also want him to know that there is this general perception that the in fact the day the film's trailer came out, there was a big hangama on Twitter. Like people thought we were trying to make fun of him or something, which is not the case at all. We have I can certainly say we have great respect for Mr. Shahrukh Khan, and the film does not intend to, and it has nothing to do with him in the first place. We want him to know that, and also importantly, I think Mr. Shahrukh Khan in the last few years, for example, I think he's somebody who stood up a lot for issues like communal harmony and things like that. So I think that this is a film which he will definitely identify with strongly, and for that reason we want him to see it. That's about it.
So you feel that Shahrukh Khan wouldn't have any objection to it, and maybe there would be no fresh controversy during the release?
I don't think so. Honestly, at least from his side, I don't think there is any controversy, because I think most importantly, he is he's a big Bollywood, this a superstar, like, and this is I'm an independent filmmaker. I've come in, and I think he has understood that the film does not bear malice towards him in any way. And secondly, I think he's an extremely intelligent man with a great sense of humor. So I don't believe that he would react negatively.
But I see the tagline is "यहाँ शाहरुख में रब दिखता है," so that is like again one of his super hit songs.
Yeah, but then the point of this is, like, when you see the film, you'll understand that's the whole point. Why is everybody obsessed with this guy? What is so special about him? This entire village sees him as somebody special. So it's in that context.
How many songs are there in this movie?
There are 3 songs.
If you can just name them.
The first song is Pair Anadi. The second is Pyar Mein Bakra. And the third is Om Shanti Om.
So wish you all the best for this movie, and hope that it's a blockbuster at the theatres. So friends, this was Janki Vishwanathan in a candid conversation with us, exclusive on Bollywood Now. In Mumbai with cameraman Puneet Rawat, this is SK Day signing off for Bollywood Now.